toca un gota del océano, del misericordio y cualidades del Señor Chaitanya Mahaprabhu y sus asociados, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Anoite, we could speak for weeks on the glories of Sri Rupa Goswami. Podemos falar por muchas semanas los glorias de Sri Rupa Goswami. Solamente una noche mucha insuficiencia. Y esta noche Sanatana Goswami y Haridas Thakur. Wow. Una hora. Posiblemente cuando regresar votar otra vez, más glorificaciones. Primeramente, Srila Haridas Thakur. Todos los semidioses advienen en esta era Danya Kali con Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Como Señor Shiva adviene para participación en los pasatiempos del Señor Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. ¿Quién es Señor Shiva en los pasatiempos Señor Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Kurangapaya, Advaita Chaya, combinación Señor Mahavishnu y Señor Shiva. ¿Quién es Señor Brahma en los pasatiempos de Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Krishna Devi Dasa. ¿Quién es Señor Brahma? Kirtananda Prabhu. Kirtananda Prabhu. Kirtananda Prabhu. Oh, where's Kirtananda? I was thinking, lo siento. Ramananda. Raghunanda. Listen. Yeah? Desculpe. Tengo Kali Yuga memoria, pero también muy difícil, muchos lugares diferentes, ciudades, miles y miles diferentes devotos. Wow. Es más fácil. Prabhu. He was born in a Himalayan family.
Haridas Thakur nunca praticou nada dos muçulmanos, sempre foi Vaishnava.
Such a great Vaishnava and so much attachment that he had for the Lord and especially chanting His holy name that Mahaprabhu gave him the title Namacharya, the one who teaches by his own personal example dedication to the holy name.
Então ele tinha tanto apego que ao santo nome, cantava constantemente o santo nome, e o Senhor Chaitanya deu a ele esse título de Namacharya, que ensina como próprio exemplo.
Don't be shy. Project your words. So, Anari Prabhu, quantas voltas cada dia Harirasta Cor cometa uma voz regularmente, cada dia cantar quantas voltas? 300,000 nomes. ¿Quiénes son matemáticos? 300,000 nomes. 192. 16 nomes en un mantra. 108 mantras en un vota. 192 votas cada dia. Yeah, 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs. So, he was chanting with so much ecstasy the holy name that everyone was astounded. He would chant the holy name for hours and hours, dancing, so many ecstatic symptoms he would exhibit, tears flowing from his eyes, rolling on the ground, his body transformations. Everyone that saw him became astounded and very much eager to also chant the holy name. He gave everyone this desire to chant.
Então, ele cantava com tanto êxtase que todos ficavam admirados. Então ele cantava, dançava e lágrimas rolavam dos seus olhos, muitas transformações no seu corpo, e isso levava todos a ter essa avidez de cantar os santos nomes.
Wherever he would go, he would inspire everyone by his purity, by his innocence, and by his ecstatic symptoms, and his presence was very, very saintly, and everyone was astounded.
Então todos ficavam admirados com a presença dele, que era muito santa, sentia muito êxtase.
So, the Muslim government, especially the Chand at that time, the Qazi, was very disturbed. Here, a Muslim is becoming popular amongst the Hindus for chanting the Hindu names of God. This is abominable.
Então o governante muçulmano ficou muito perturbado porque ele era muçulmano e estava ficando muito famoso por cantar os santos nomes dos hindus.
I think last time I was in here I spoke about Haridas Thakur. So maybe we'll go through it quickly then, so we can speak Sanatan Shiksha. Sempre novo. So, the Muslim king was so envious. Twice he did 2 things to try to get Haridas Thakur to stop chanting, because he was becoming so famous amongst the Hindus and Muslims, and the king was very envious at this.
Então o rei muçulmano ficou com muita inveja e por 2 vezes ele tentou parar Srila Haridas Thakur de cantar os santos nomes, porque ele estava ficando muito famoso.
So, first the Muslim king decided, well, and he hired a prostitute and told her, you go and you entice Haridas Thakur, and after he falls with you, then people will see, oh, he's not the saintly person we thought he was, and his fame will be diminished. So the king devised this method.
Então, primeiramente, o rei chamou uma prostituta e mandou que ela fosse tentar Srila Haridas Thakur, que se ele caísse com ela, então aí todos iam falar, ele não é assim tão elevado, então.
So this prostitute dressed herself very beautifully in an enchanting way, and she went to the ashram of Haridas Thakur in the evening, late, and Haridas Thakur had Tulsi, so on her way to get the association of Haridas Thakur, she paid her respects to Tulsi, and then she went in and sat before Haridas Thakur, who was very deeply absorbed in Nam Bhajan.
Então essa prostituta se vestiu muito belamente e à tardinha ela foi ao ashram de Srila Haridas Thakur, e no caminho ela ofereceu reverências a uma tulasi que Srila Haridas Thakur tinha. E aí chegou lá e viu ele sentado muito absorto no cantar dos santos nomes.
So she, sitting there in front of Haridas Thakur, she was trying to entice Haridas Thakur with her bodily positions, sometimes revealing certain parts of her body. But Haridas Thakur was very, very absorbed in his chanting.
Então ela chegou lá, se sentou em frente a Srila Haridas Thakur e fazia gestos sensuais e às vezes descobria certas partes do corpo tentando seduzi-lo, mas ele estava profundamente absorto no cantar dos santos nomes.
She spoke words to him very sweetly and said, oh, you're a beautiful young devotee. It's late at night and I would like to enjoy with you, etc., etc. Haridas Thakur said, oh, okay, no problema, paciencia, por favor, paciencia. But agora no, después me voltas. Every day I've made a vow to chant 300,000 names, so just be patient. And when I finish, then surely I will satisfy you.
Então ela falou com ele com uma voz muito doce, falando assim, você é um devoto tão belo, e aqui está tarde à noite, então eu gostaria de desfrutar com você. E aí Srila Haridas Thakur falou assim, então não se preocupe, espere um pouco que eu tenho um voto de cantar minhas voltas, então quando eu terminar eu vou te atender.
So it got later and later and later, and Haridas Thakur was still chanting his rounds, and she became tired, and then she decided, okay, and Haridas Thakur said, oh, no, perdóname, come back tomorrow, I surely will finish earlier tomorrow, just please come back tomorrow.
Então o tempo foi passando e demorava, e ele continuava cantando, e ela foi ficando cansada. Aí ele falou assim para ela, não se aborreça, volte amanhã, que amanhã eu vou terminar mais cedo e vou te atender.
So she returned the next night. Of course, before she left, she paid her obeisances to Tulsi and Haridas Thakur, and she left. And she came back the next night, paid her obeisances to Tulsi, and then sat before Haridas Thakur, listening to him chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. His chanting was so ecstatic, sometimes tears flowing from his eyes. So many ecstatic symptoms. She kept hearing this, and then again he was chanting so long. And he told her, just be patient. But again the night passed and got very, very late, so she left.
Então no outro dia ela voltou e ele novamente continuava cantando, mas ela, quando saiu, prestou reverência a Tulasi no dia anterior, e quando voltou de novo, prestou reverência a Tulasi outra vez, e ficava ouvindo ele cantar os santos nomes, e ele manifestava muitos sintomas de êxtase, e novamente foi ficando muito tarde, ela ficou cansada e foi embora novamente. E ele dizendo para ela, não, tenha paciência, que eu vou.
I believe that Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explains this actually was Maya personified. Yeah? I believe that there's a comment that this prostitute is actually Maya personified.
Ele acredita que essa prostituta era Maya personificada.
But Maya is all around us every day, for men in the form of women and for women in the form of men, etc. Haridas Thakur was completely fixed on his determination to chant. So the second night she also left, and then she came back the third day. He said, surely tonight I will finish, and then no problem.
Então, Maya está sempre ao nosso redor, como na forma de um homem para as mulheres, na forma de uma mulher para os homens. E Srila Haridas Thakur continuava dizendo, não, paciência que eu com certeza eu vou terminar mais cedo e vou te atender.
So, first night, second night, now the third night, hearing Haridas Thakur's Harinam, she became completely changed, and she finally paid her obeisances to Haridas Thakur, and with tears of her eyes she said, oh, please forgive me. The king has sent me, or the Muslim king has sent me here to allure you away from your bhakti sarana, from your nam bhajan, to try to get you to enjoy with me, and then you would be defamed. So please forgive me for this. I see that you are actually a saintly person. And Haridas Thakur said, I knew from the first day you came that this was your task, but rather than sending you away, I wanted to purify you and give you this holy name and as your only business.
Então, a prostituta já havia ido lá por 3 dias seguidos, então ela se purificou, então finalmente ela, com lágrimas nos olhos, aí falou para ele que, por favor, me perdoe, que o rei muçulmano me mandou aqui para te tentar, para tirar você do seu bhajana e destruir a sua fama de devoto. E desde o primeiro dia eu já sabia, ele falou para ela assim, não, desde o primeiro dia que você veio eu já sabia das suas intenções, mas eu não queria mandar você embora, pelo contrário, eu queria te purificar e te dar esse santo nome.
So she surrendered to Haridas Thakur, begged for his forgiveness, and Haridas Thakur said no. And she told him, I am a very low and unqualified person with very low occupation. But he said, no problem. You take this holy name and you will be forgiven. But give up your occupation. Come here every day, pay your respects to Tulsi, and stay here at this place and chant. I am going, but you can have this as your ashram. Give up your activities, sinful activities, and just take to the holy name. He gave her the holy name, and go ahead.
Então ela disse para Srila Haridas Thakur que era muito caída. Então Srila Haridas Thakur falou para ela que não, você venha para cá todos os dias, abandone as suas ocupações mundanas e venha para cá todos os dias e fique e ofereça reverências a Tulis e cante esse santo nome. E ele falou que ele foi embora do lugar e deixou ela lá, né?
So Haridas Thakur left, and she stayed there, worshiping Tulsi and chanting the name. And word spread that Haridas Thakur had delivered this prostitute and they came there because she became very dedicated towards the chanting, and her fame spread, and every day people would come and give her offerings and to sustain her and with all of her necessities.
Então Srila Haridas Thakura foi embora e deixou ela lá adorando Tulasi e cantando o santo nome. Então a fama se espalhou e as pessoas iam lá todos os dias vê-la e levavam oferendas para alimentos para ela, e ela ficou lá então cantando o santo nome.
Chaitanya Charitamrita speaks of another time. It must have been a different Muslim king, but the Zamindar and the Qazi were very envious at Haridas Thakur, and they were very determined to get him to turn back towards his Muslim activities.
Então o rei muçulmano, o governante muçulmano, ficou com muita inveja de Srila Haridas Thakura, então ele queria fazer com que ele voltasse a se ocupar como muçulmano, atividades muçulmanas.
So they called him into the court. They called him into the court, and the Qazi said, there are so many complaints about you chanting the names of the Hindus, but you're a Muslim. We're Muslims, we don't even want our shadow to be, the shadow of a Hindu to fall on us. By accident, if the shadow of a Hindu touches us, we have to take back.
Então o governante muçulmano falou com Srila Haridas Thakur que existem muitas reclamações com relação a você, porque você está cantando os nomes dos deuses hindus, e na verdade nós muçulmanos não aceitamos nem que a sombra de um hindu nos toque. Se isso acontece, nós temos que tomar banho.
So you're a Muslim, you have a very fortunate birth, but you have given up these activities of a Muslim and you're taking towards Hindu activities. I order you to stop this Hindu chanting and to live like a Muslim, otherwise I will have you arrested and beaten.
Então ele disse, você é muito afortunado de ter nascido como muçulmano, mas você abandonou isso e está se ocupando como um hindu. Então eu ordeno que você pare com isso e novamente se torne muçulmano, senão eu vou ter que te prender e te bater.
Beaten until you die.
Bater até que você morra.
So Haridas Thakur said, I'm sorry, but and he preached to him for a while about that there's only one God, and the same God that the Muslims worship, this is the same God as the Hindus, etc., etc. But he told him, he said, I don't care what you do, I will always chant the holy names of God. Even if you cut my body into 100 pieces, I will never stop chanting.
Então, Srila Haridas Thakur pregou para ele que, na verdade, só existe um Deus, é o mesmo Deus que nós cantamos os nomes. E não me importa o que você vai fazer com o meu corpo, mesmo que corte em 1000 pedaços, eu vou continuar sempre cantando.
We can remember in his previous life as Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad's demoniac father Hiranyakashipu didn't want him to be a devotee either, so he also threatened him with so much punishment, and Prahlad Maharaj kept chanting, so he was punished in so many different ways, but Prahlad Maharaj only chanted the holy name, and the Lord personally came and saved him and killed his demoniac father.
Então, na vida passada, como Prahlada Maharaj, ele também sofreu todos esses tormentos que o próprio pai infligiu a ele, mas ele continuou sempre cantando o santo nome, e finalmente o próprio Senhor apareceu perante ele.
So then the Qazi, he had Haridas Thakur arrested, and told his guards to beat him in different marketplaces. He wanted to show to public that if a Muslim didn't follow the rites of and rituals of a Muslim, that he would be beaten severely. So they beat him in one marketplace, 2 marketplaces, 3 marketplaces, 4, and even 1 or 2 would have been sufficient for an ordinary strong man to die, but he did not die. 22 marketplaces, from marketplace to marketplace to marketplace. People would beg these soldiers, please, please, stop doing this, we beg of you. We cannot tolerate this. And they would cry and offer to pay them, but still, 22 marketplaces, Haridas Thakur severely beaten.
Então o rei prendeu ele e mandou que surrassem ele em diferentes praças, mercados, para que todos vissem que quem não seguisse a religião hindu, quem fosse muçulmano e não seguisse, seria punido da mesma forma. Então ele foi surrado em 22 mercados, um após o outro, e as pessoas já estavam assim chorando e pedindo: parem, por favor. Ofereceram para pagar para que parassem de bater nele, mas continuaram batendo. E uma pessoa comum, mesmo um homem forte, já morreria na segunda mercado, na segunda praça, apanhando dessa forma, mas ele 22 mercados apanhando e ainda estava vivo.
So the guards of the king were in so much anxiety because the king had ordered them beat him severely until he dies, but he wasn't dying. So finally they complained to Haridas Thakur, now we will surely be killed by the king because we haven't succeeded in our duty. And Haridas Thakur said, oh, I didn't know, and I don't want you to get in trouble because of me. Why didn't you tell me that before?
Então aí os carrascos, os guardas que o rei mandou surrar Haridas, começaram a ficar em ansiedade porque eles pensavam assim: o rei mandou a gente surrar ele até que ele morra, mas ele não morre, então o rei vai nos matar. Aí Srila Haridas Thakur falou para ele assim: eu não sabia que vocês seriam prejudicados por minha causa. Por que não falaram antes?
Sorry for going for so long, but I know you know the story. So, muito difícil tradução larga tempo. So and they said, Haridas Thakur, we beat people all the time and they die in the first marketplace, but you keep going, and we look at you and we're severely, look at your body is like the skin is peeling off of it. You're practically a skeleton, bleeding, and you keep looking up at us and you smile at us, and you look at it like you feel sorry for us.
Então, Srila Haridas Thakur, eles falaram para Srila Haridas Thakur assim que normalmente a gente bate na pessoa e logo no começo ela já morre, mas você, a pele está saindo e sangrando, e a gente olha para você e você está com pena da gente, sorrindo com dó, com pena da gente.
And so Thakur said, yes, I am praying for your forgiveness and your deliverance, so you don't have to suffer on account of me. So Haridas Thakur actually, he was thinking, because he had tolerated so much blasphemy and didn't leave the spot, of course he couldn't, he was arrested, but since the king had said so many blasphemous things against the Lord, he considered this beating was a punishment for him having to hear all that blasphemy.
Então Srila Haridas Thakur estava pensando assim que disse para eles primeiro que não, enquanto vocês me batiam, então eu estava pedindo, rezando para que vocês se libertassem, fossem liberados e que não tivesse que sofrer punições por isso pelo que vocês estão fazendo comigo. E também ele achava que aquela surra que ele estava levando era porque o rei tinha falado muitas blasfêmias e ele ouviu aquelas blasfêmias, então ele tinha que sofrer por ter ouvido as blasfêmias contra o Senhor.
So then Haridas Thakur told the guards, I don't want you to suffer, so since you wanted me to die, then I guess I just will die. And he went into deep samadhi and apparently looked like he had died. So now the guards were happy. So then they decided, what should we do with this body? And they told the Zamindar and the king, the Qazi, and oh, should we cremate him? And they said, no, that's what Hindus do. If you do that, then he'll be liberated. Well, should we bury him? No, that's what the Muslims do. If you do that, then he'll be liberated. Throw him in the Ganges, throw him in the Ganges.
Então, aí Srila Haridas Thakur falou para ele assim, não, então tudo bem, se vocês querem que eu morra, então eu vou morrer. Aí ele entrou em profundo samadhi e aí ficou como se tivesse morto. E aí o rei muçulmano levaram, aí eles ficaram felizes, morreu. Então aí o rei muçulmano, eles perguntaram, o que a gente faz com o corpo dele agora? Aí o rei falou assim, bem, a gente enterra? Não, queima? Não, os hindus fazem isso. Se fizerem isso, então vão pensar que ele está liberado. E a gente enterra? Não, se enterrar, os muçulmanos fazem isso, então vão pensar que ele está liberado. Então, joguem ele no Ganges.
So when body of Haridas Thakur was thrown into the Ganges, it started to float downstream. But being touched by the Ganges, which is emanating from the toe of, from Krishna, that's a whole long story. When Bhamanadev pierced the universe, then the Ganges flew down from the spiritual world. But when he was touched by the Ganges, gradually his body was completely healed. And he just continued to float. What was the name of the place he went? There's the name of a village. And the guards and people saw the miraculous healing of Haridas Thakur, and they immediately rushed to that place. They bowed down before Haridas Thakur. They touched his feet and they said, "Sure, you are a saintly person. We have committed such sinful activities. Please forgive us. Please forgive us."
Então, Srila Haridas Thakur foi jogado no Ganges e o corpo dele foi boiando. E imediatamente quando ele tocou as águas do Ganges que emanam dos pés do Senhor, então imediatamente o corpo dele foi completamente curado e ele foi boiando até uma certa vila. E aí quando as pessoas viram essa cura milagrosa, aí todos correram para lá e se jogaram aos pés de lótus dele pedindo misericórdia. Sim, você é uma pessoa santa.
The Zamindar and Qazi also heard about this, and they came and they bowed down and surrendered to Haridas Thakur. They begged for forgiveness, and he said, "Of course, I did not take any offense," and he forgave them. But then the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat say that the king, the Zamindar, the Qazi, and his whole family and dynasty, they were died.
Então os servos do Qazi, do governante, foram lá, se prostraram perante ele e pediram perdão, e ele perdoou eles, mas o Qazi e toda a família do Zamindar e do Qazi, todos morreram.
There's so many nice glorifications of Haridas Thakur, but we need to spend some time with Sanatan Shiksha. Last night we did Rupa Shiksha. Just touching a little bit. I didn't even go into Upadeshamrita. There's so many wonderful literatures. Bhaktirasamrita Sindhu that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, Ujjvala Nilamani, Vidagdha Madhava, so many Lalita Madhavas, volumes and volumes of transcendental literatures. Lord Chaitanya blessed him to transmit his heart into the scriptures that he wrote. Rupa.
Então, Srila Rupa Goswami escreveu tantas literaturas, eu não vou conseguir repetir todas que ele falou. E o Sr. Chaitanya abençoou ele a escrever todas essas literaturas, que a gente aqui não vai ter tempo de falar.
So, Sanatana Goswami, we spoke Rupa Goswami being also imprisoned by the king, left that. Then he sent some money for Sanatana Goswami, who was also imprisoned by the Muslim king for not following his instructions and accompanying him in his wars, etc., etc. Rupa Goswami deposited much gold for a grocer to keep for Sanatan, and Sanatan bribed his way out of jail finally.
Então, Srila Sanatana Goswami também tinha sido aprisionado pelo governante, e Srila Rupa Goswami deixou com alguém uma quantia guardada, para que ele mandou um recado para que ele usasse essa quantia para fugir.
There's a nice explanation how Sanatana Goswami, after being liberated from his confinement, he traveled to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and on the way, there's very nice explanations of his travels. But we'll begin with how we finally came upon Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and inquired from him.
Então também existem descrições muito bonitas sobre essa viagem que Srila Sanatana Goswami fez da prisão, quando fugiu até se encontrar com Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
He came to where Mahaprabhu was. At that time his name was Sabir Malik, because he was a Mohammedan. He was employed by the Mohammedan government. So he came to where Mahaprabhu was, the village where Mahaprabhu was, but he just stayed on the outside. And Mahaprabhu, being transcendental, told his associates, "Please go outside. There's a very exalted Vaishnava there. You bring him in immediately. I wish to see him very quickly."
Então, Srila Sanatana Goswami foi até a vila onde Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu estava, mas ele ficou do lado de fora da vila. E aí Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mandou seus associados: por favor, vá lá e busque ele, traga ele aqui, que é uma pessoa muito exaltada, um Vaishnava muito elevado, tragam ele até aqui.
So they went outside and looked around, and they came back to Mahaprabhu and they said, we didn't see a Vaishnava mendicant, exalted devotee out there. And he said, "Who did you see?" And they said, we saw a Muslim, dirty Muslim out there sitting." And Mahaprabhu said, no, that's a great Vaishnava, please bring him in.
Então eles foram até lá, mas não encontraram. Então voltaram para o Sr. Chaitanya e falaram: não encontramos ninguém. Aí o Sr. Chaitanya perguntou: quem vocês viram lá? Não, nós vimos só um muçulmano lá. Aí ele falou: sim, é ele mesmo, uma grande personalidade, tragam ele aqui.
So they brought Sanatan Sabir Malik in, and because he had worked for the Muslim government, he had long hair, a beard, he was wearing Muslim clothes, but they came in and Mahaprabhu immediately embraced him. "Oh, my eternal associate is here." And Sabir Malik, Sanatan Goswami, he felt, "Oh no, I'm very, very fallen, don't touch me, you'll become contaminated, don't touch me."
Então, quando ele chegou em frente ao Sr. Chaitanya, ele usava barba e roupas de muçulmano. E assim que ele se encontrou com o Sr. Chaitanya falou: aqui está o meu associado eterno, e abraçou ele. Ele falou: não, por favor, não me toque, porque você vai ficar contaminado.
Mahaprabhu, how can I become contaminated? You are a pure Vaishnava, I will become purified by touching your body.
Aí o Sr. Chaitanya falou para ele: como eu posso ficar contaminado? Eu vou me purificar tocando o seu corpo, você é um grande Vaishnava.
Mahaprabhu said, "You are very fortunate because you have you have cut the chains and shackles of material life that so many people are bound by, and you have left the deep, dark well of material existence.
Então ele falou para Srila Sanatana que você é muito afortunado porque você rompeu com os grilhões da vida material. Muitas pessoas estão acorrentadas assim, mas você rompeu com tudo isso.
You know that verse? Oh, I thought you were Andakupam. So, so Mahaprabhu said, now please go and clean yourself and make yourself presentable as a Vaishnava. And Sanatana Goswami realized at that time Dabir Kash. So he went to the Ganges. He took a bath. He shaved his head and beard and begged for some very simple cloth, tore it in pieces, and took that. And he had a blanket with him. He took that and went back to Mahaprabhu in a very clean, shaven and Vaishnava manner.
Então o Sr. Chaitanya falou para ele assim, vá e se vista como Vaishnava e se apresente como Vaishnava. Então ele foi até o Ganges e raspou a cabeça, tirou a barba, vestiu roupas simples e voltou. Sim, voltou com a aparência de um Vaishnava limpo.
Yeah, he had one fraza, one blanket. So Mahaprabhu saw him and embraced him again. Sanatana Goswami paid his prostrated obeisances. Mahaprabhu picked him up, embraced him. But then Mahaprabhu glanced at his expensive blanket that he had brought with him, and the way that Mahaprabhu looked at it, he could tell that Mahaprabhu didn't approve of him having a very nice woolen blanket. So after he left Mahaprabhu, he went and found a washerman, and he told that washerman, he said, "Oh, I see you have an old chadar here. Please trade me for this nice woolen blanket that I have." And the washerman complained. He said, "Why are you making fun of me? You know?" He said, "No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'll give you this one. Just give me your old and torn one." And then when Mahaprabhu, he saw that Sanatana Goswami even had renounced that, he was very pleased. Vasanti, take the mic and... Wow, Vasanti's voice is back. Don't lose it again. So then Sanatana Goswami, he met with Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu gave him shiksha for several days. So we'll discuss what that conversation.
Então, Srila Sanatana Goswami encontrou-se com Mahaprabhu e recebeu shiksha por 7 dias.
I said a few days.
Poucos
You don't
dias.
even remember how many days? It was 10 days with Rupa. Oh, I thought I said several.
Ok, alguns dias.
It's okay, it doesn't. So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Satyani Paripratena Pariprashnena Seva Upadekshanti Tegana Gyaninas Tadvadarshana. In the beginning, acquire from a spiritual realized personality, approach him with humility, inquire submissively, because he has seen the truth, he can impart that truth into you.
Então, no Bhagavad Gita, o Senhor Krishna diz que aproxime-se de uma alma autorrealizada, indague dele submissamente e preste-lhe serviço, porque uma alma que viu a verdade pode te infundir essa verdade.
Pariprashneva Sevya. 3 things: humility, inquiry, and seva.
Então, são 3 coisas: humildade, perguntar e oferecer serviço.
So, Sanatana Goswami approached the Lord and he said, Kayami, who am I? Kine amai jaritapatrai ihanai jani kemone hitahai. Who am I? Kin sayao? And why am I inflicted by these 3 miseries?
Então, Srila Sanatana Goswami se aproximou de Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu e inquiriu: quem sou eu e por que estou sofrendo essas misérias?
He said, I don't know how to inquire about the goal of life and the process for gaining it. What is the goal, Sajjan, and what is the sadhana to obtain that goal?
Então ele disse que ele não sabia o processo de obter essa meta, e qual era essa meta, e qual o processo de obter essa meta.
So Mahaprabhu gave some very wonderful instructions, and we'll try to cover a few of those. Jai Shri Radharaman Dev. He said, Acharadeva Sarvarta Siddhyayisham Abhipshita Saddharma Syobhadaya Yesham Nirbantanimati. Those who are anxious to awaken their spiritual consciousness.
Aqueles que estão ansiosos por despertar a sua consciência espiritual.
Who have unflinching faith and intelligence.
Com fé inquebrantável e inteligência.
Who are not deviated from this path.
Que não se desvia deste caminho.
Certainly attain the desired goal.
Certamente alcança esse objetivo desejado.
Are we anxious to awaken our spiritual consciousness?
Yes. Estamos todos ansiosos por obter essa objetivo.
Do we have unflinching intelligence and determined not to deviate?
Para ter uma inteligência inquebrantável e não se desviar.
So, Mahaprabhu will explain what we can do, since we're in Kali Yuga. We have very meager intelligence, we're very forgetful, short lives, we're very unlucky.
Então, Mahaprabhu estava explicando que na Kali Yuga nós temos uma inteligência muito fraca e esquecemos de tudo e a vida muito curta.
Mahaprabhu began with a verse: Jivera Swarupaya Krishnara Nityadas Jivera Tatashta Shakti Veda Veda Prakash Krishna Buli Se Jiva Nadir Bahumuka Ateva Maitai Sangsara Dukkha. You know the translation? Jivera Swarupaya Krishnara Nityadas. What's that translate? Jivera Swarupaya Krishnara Nityadas. The Jiva is eternally part and part servant of Krishna. Nityadas, eternally.
Então, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu começou com esse verso de ver a Swarupa Raya, que significa que a natureza constitucional da alma é a serva eterna de Krishna.
Krishna, Jivara Swarup, Jivara Tatashta Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. The Jiva is a manifestation of Tatashta Shakti, the marginal energy of Krishna.
Então, a Jiva é uma manifestação de Tatastha Shakti, a energia marginal de Krishna.
Hey, Vrindavan Prabhu, where have you been? Hiding? Yes. Mahakal and telephone. He gives a class in Bhagavad Gita. Muito obrigado. Não preocupe, amanhã me vou. I was going to invite, remember I asked you to say the verse that you spoke so nicely about Mahaprabhu, but you had other things to do. Mahakal Prabhu ki jai. If he's watching, I watched him this morning. If he's watching, I have a phone number and I've asked 3-4 people to ask him to please call me. Because I can't call him. So Mahaprabhu told about Krishna's 3 energies, Shaktis.
Então Mahaprabhu falou sobre as 3 energias, as 3 Shaktis de Krishna.
Krishna has 1 Shakti, Swarup Shakti. That's Radharani. The devotee asked me this morning.
Então Krishna tem uma Shakti que é Radharani, Swarupa Shakti.
Krishna and Radha are one, but they separate eternally to enjoy transcendental loving pastimes.
Radha e Krishna são mas eles são eternamente separados para desfrutar de rasa.
Krishna is Shaktiman, Radharani is Shakti, and he has innumerable Shaktis, unlimited.
Então, Krishna é Shaktiman e Radharani é Shakti, e Krishna tem inumeráveis Shaktis.
They're divided into 3. Antaranga Shakti, Krishna's internal energy, Bahiranga Shakti is external potency, and Tatashta Shakti, marginal.
E essa Shakti é dividida em 3 categorias: Antaranga Shakti, a energia interna, Bahiranga externa e Tatastha, a energia marginal.
Antaranga Shakti, Krishna, his incarnations, the spiritual realm, his abode, his associates, his pastimes, the internal Shakti.
Então, essa energia interna são as encarnações de Krishna, sua morada, seus associados, seus passatempos.
Bahiranga Shakti, external energy, dead matter.
E Bahiranga Shakti é a energia material, matéria morta, matéria inerte.
Krishna explains to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita what these material coverings are.
Então Krishna explica no Bhagavad Gita o que essas coberturas materiais são.
8 cubiertos.
8 coberturas.
3 sutta e 5 kuser. Bhumir apono vayu kamano buddhi evacha ahankara ityame pina prakriti ashtida. Tradução? Terra, fogo, água, ar, éter, 5, grosseiro, e 3 sutta. Mente, inteligencia e ego falso. 8 cubiertos de alma. Y en el próximo verso, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna fala que Apraya mitastvayam, apraya mitastvayam. It's here. Oh, Prakritim Midime from Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dayate Jagat. Besides this inferior energy of mind, or is the superior energy of mind, which is consisted of the Jiva, who's struggling hard with these external energies.
Então, Krishna fala dessas energias e fala que ao lado dessa energia inferior, que consiste dessas coberturas, existe uma energia superior, que é a alma consciente, que está lutando com essa energia.
And Mahaprabhu went to explain the second part of this verse. Krishna Boli Seji Vanari Bhaumukta Ataiva Maitai Sangsara Dukkha. Being bewildered by Krishna's external energy, he becomes forgetful, and then he becomes attracted to that external energy, and he goes through Sangsara Dukkha. So much suffering in a repeated birth and death. Forgetting Krishna, Krishna Boli Seji, he's forgetful of Krishna.
Então, esquecido de Krishna,
Krishna Boli Seji, Anarya Bhavamukha. Then he becomes immediately Bahirmukha, he becomes eternally forgetful of Krishna and eternally bound.
Então, ele fica eternamente esquecido de Krishna e eternamente preso.
Ateva Mayatari. He's bound by the material energy, three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, and he goes through repeated birth and death, samsara dukkha, and suffers like anything.
Então ele fica preso aos três modos da natureza e fica eternamente no ciclo de repetidos nascimentos e mortes, de sofrimento.
Process of samsara dukkha, suffering, repeated birth and death. We spoke of Rupa Shiksha last night, the 8,400,000 species of life.
Então, sobre esses repetidos nascimentos e mortes, nós falamos ontem sobre Rupa. É assim que...
Cuatro mil diferentes clases de humanos.
400.000 formas humanas de vida diferentes.
Ok. 2 millones non-moving trees, plants, etc.
2 milhões de seres imóveis, plantas, árvores, etc.
1 millón pájaros, aves. 3 millones diferentes animales. 900,000 diferentes peces. Fish, peces.
900.000 diferentes espécies de peixe. 900.000.
Portanhol.
900,000.
Over 100,000.
900.000 espécies de peixes.
So, anyway,
Seres aquáticos.
that was last night. Then he quotes a very nice verse. Gurudev loved this verse. Bayam Dvitwina Abhineshishad Shat Ishara Apitesha Viprayo Smriti Tanmayato Bhudir Avachet Tvam Bhakjakesham Gurudeva Tatma. The living entity misidentifies himself with this material energy, and he becomes full of fear.
Então, Srila Gurudeva explica esse verso e fala que a entidade viva se identifica com esse corpo e fica cheia de medo.
He becomes bewildered by the material energy, and he turns his face away from the Lord, and he becomes forgetful that he's eternally a servant of Krishna.
Então ele fica atraído por essa energia material e então ele se volta contra o Senhor, se afasta do Senhor e a minha cabeça não está mais dando conta.
Okay. Dvitiya Abhinesha Shadshad. Although he is a spirit soul, he becomes identified with material body. Asat.
Então a alma espiritual fica identificada com esse corpo material que é Asat.
He's eternally liberated, but he becomes eternally bound.
Ele é eternamente liberado, mas fica eternamente condicionado.
He's Ananda, but in the material world he's Nirananda. The spirit soul is actually full of ecstasy, bienventuranza cara momento, but he becomes full of so much ignorance and suffering.
Então no mundo espiritual ele é cheio de bem-aventurança, mas aqui no mundo material ele não tem nenhuma bem-aventurança, é cheio de ignorância e sofrimento.
So an intelligent person should awaken from this sleeping existence.
Então uma pessoa inteligente deve se acordar dessa existência.
And he should gauge himself with determination in the process of bhakti under the guidance of a bona fide guru who he accepts as his worshipable object.
Então ele deve ser muito determinado em seguir esse processo de autorrealização sob a guia de um guru.
Su alma e vida.
Que é o guru que é seu objeto, sua alma e vida, seu objeto adorável.
Next, Mahaprabhu, no sufficient. Next, Mahaprabhu explains what we explained the other night about Sharanagati. Daivesham kunamaya mamamaya durataya maveve ya prapajante mayam etan trantite. Who knows this verse? Daivesha, Krishna has external energy, it's spiritual, so it's called divine energy. But it's consisting, is external energy, although it's coming from him, and we consider that divine, but it's material, it consists of the three modes of material nature.
Então, essa energia de Krishna, ela é espiritual, porque a energia de Krishna consiste dos três modos da natureza.
Es muito difícil crescer. Pero Krishna explica en Bhagavad Gita, es muy fácil cuando un devoto desarrolla rendición. When he surrenders into me, he can easily cross beyond it.
Então, ela é muito difícil de ser superada, mas fica muito fácil quando o devoto se rende.
So, Mahaprabhu says, you take shelter of Guru, Shastra and Sadhu, and this will protect you on this path.
Então, Mahaprabhu diz, você se abrigue em Guru, Shastra e Sadhu, que isso vai te proteger.
He explains to Sanatana Goswami Sambandha, Videya and Prayojan, and we don't have time, but it's relationship, the process of bhakti, and the attainment of the goal, or Krishna, service to Radha and Krishna's prema.
Então ele explicou a Sanatana Goswami sobre Prayodhana da Videya e Sambandha Videya e Prayodhana, que são o relacionamento, o processo de Bhakti e o objetivo a ser alcançado.
So then Mahaprabhu tells him a story of an astrologer who came to a poor man.
Então Mahaprabhu contou uma história de astrólogo que chegou a um homem pobre.
And he said, my dear poor man, I've done your astrology and I can tell actually you have a great treasure. Your father has left you a great treasure, but he buried it in your house. It's somewhere there, so you need to dig for this treasure, then you won't be poor.
Então o astrólogo chegou para esse homem pobre e falou assim, olha, eu fiz a sua carta astrológica E na verdade o seu pai deixou para você um tesouro enterrado na sua casa, então você tem que cavar para encontrar esse tesouro.
He said, so you start digging, but if you dig in the south portion, there's drones and wasps, so be careful. Drones and wasps. Drones. I think it's like a bumblebee. It's something that'll sting. It's something that'll string you. Okay.
Então, se você for cavar no lado sul, tome cuidado, porque tem alguma coisa que vai, marimbondos e vespas que vão te atacar.
Hoje nós vemos a cachoeira, insecto, mutucos. If it bites you, mutuca, era mutuca. Como esto? So, okay. If you dig in the west, ¿cómo se fala? Dig? Cavar en oeste, fantasma. Cuídate. If you dig in the north, una serpiente negro. Cuida. He said, so dig in the east. That's Bhakti Yoga.
Então cave no leste, que aí é Bhakti Yoga.
Portanto, não.
Negro, serpente. A serpente negra no norte.
So Mahaprabhu explained that these, whatever you call them here, wasps or things that fly and sting you, those are compared to be the karma kanda section of the Vedic literatures, which recommend economic development and sense gratification.
Então Mahaprabhu explicou que essas marimbondos representam karma kanda, que é a seção dos Vedas que recomendam atividades frutíferas para gozo dos sentidos.
Gratificação dos sentidos. E oeste, fantasma, is Jnana Kanda, the speculative, impersonalist knowledge.
Então, o fantasma significa Jnana Kanda, que é conhecimento especulativo.
Serpiente negro é yoga místico, perfecciones místicos. This is very popular in Brazil. To get some spiritual perfections, mystic.
Então, a serpente significa yoga mística, e que no Brasil é muito popular esses poderes místicos.
So, Mahaprabhu said, you perform bhakti yoga, and you dig it there, and then you will discover that treasure.
Então, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu falou, execute Bhakti Yoga, então você vai cavar lá e encontrar esse tesouro.
So Mahaprabhu had so many wonderful associates, and we've just briefly touched on a drop of some of those associates' qualities.
Então, ele só está dando uma breve descrição das qualidades desses associados de Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
I said Rupa Goswami gave us so many transcendental literatures. Sanatana Goswami also gave us so many transcendental literatures. Brihad Bhagavatamrita now is translated into English. I'm sure Makal is probably working on it in English, in Portuguese.
Então, Srila Rupa Goswami e Sanatana Goswami deixaram muitas literaturas transcendentais que o Prabhu Mahakala está traduzindo do inglês para o português algumas delas.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi Jai Sachinananda Gaur Hari. Thank you for tolerating my mistakes. Someday I'll get one little pinch of the qualities that Pan Maharaj comes here and gives his Hari Katha. Any commentaries, comments or corrections?
Alguma pergunta, algum comentário?
If I said anything beneficial, it's because of Gurudev has much compassion and mercy on me. If I made mistakes, it's because I'm muto tonto ikai. I lost him.
He says if Karma Kanda is very Jnana Kanda are valid because he sees like
Are what?
he's asking if Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda are valid.
Okay, that part I didn't
But
hear.
not only this,
Yeah.
because he sees like from Karma Kanda you can go slowly to Jnana Kanda, and from Jnana Kanda you can go slowly to Bhakti, so you reach Guru with a process like this.
Well, maybe I didn't make it clear in Mahaprabhu's instruction to Sanatana Goswami. He compares karma kanda to be like the thing that bites you and stings you and very painful. So it's for a certain class of people. The Vedas are divided in different levels. So there are some people that have to be engaged in works, and then gradually they will be make some advancement, and then they'll turn towards jnana, knowledge. Then, but the path of bhakti yoga surpasses all of that. Karma, jnana, yoga, etc. And we've spoken many times during this week of the perfection of yoga is pure bhakti, anyabhilashta shunyam, giving up material desires and pursuits for impersonalistic jnana and mystic perfections.
Então ele está dizendo que esse processo de karma, existem pessoas em diferentes níveis de pessoas, então algumas têm que se ocupar nesses trabalhos de karma kanda, e gradualmente eles vão se elevar a jnana kanda, conhecimento, mas que bhakti transcende tudo isso.
For persons of low intelligence, there's a lower scriptures that are given so that they act according to scriptures and work in that way, and gradually they'll develop a little bit of sukriti, and then they'll go a little bit higher. But if that takes many births, and it's very unpractical and a waste of time. So bhakti gives one immediate realization, and it's a very practical and easy process for this age.
Então tem pessoas que estão num nível muito baixo, então os shastras eles têm divisões para todos os tipos de pessoas, então aí elas vão praticar esse processo de karma kanda para se elevarem um pouco com sukriti, mas bhakti é um processo que independe disso, que a pessoa muito facilmente não tem que passar por todo esse sofrimento que a karma kanda é comparado com os marimbondos, que causam muito sofrimento. Isso. Então, aí e Bhakti não, independe, é transcendental e a pessoa pode ir diretamente.
Abandon, okay.
The duty, prescribed duty.
It depends what your duty is. The gopis had duties to their family and society and husbands, but did they abandon that? And why did they abandon that? To please Krishna? The Brahmins thought if they gave Krishna their foot dust, they would have to go to hell. But when the gopis heard that would relieve Krishna's fever, they immediately were going to give that. Even though they would go to hell, they thought that since this will relieve Krishna's fever, then that's what we'll do. They give up everything, all personal considerations. But this was just most pleasing to Krishna. Well, you asked it, so I answered. So first let him translate.
Ela teria que abandonar todos os seus deveres prescritos, são os deveres sociais e etc. Não só trabalhar com a sociedade, etc., com a família, obrigações. Aí, Maharaj falou, eu entendi que eu não consegui pegar tudo assim.
Depende de quais são os seus deveres e por que você os abandona.
Exatamente, quais são os deveres e por que abandona. Ele vai direto nas golpes. Ele fala as golpes abandonando tudo, mas elas abandonaram tudo realmente por Krishna, para satisfazer o Krishna e para o prazer dele. Aí ele falou como, por exemplo, em Brahmanas, eles tinham, o exemplo que o Maharaj deu, que é interessante, é que o Brahmana é a classe sacerdotal, né? Mas os Brahmanas, eles estavam assim, inteirados dos seus deveres prescritos de serem sacerdotes. Então, mesmo eles sendo uma classe muito elevada, Krishna fala que a gente tem que adorar os Brahmanas. Mas ainda assim, os Brahmanas não se dispuseram a tirar da poeira dos seus pés para pôr na testa de Krishna para poder curar a dor de cabeça, que seria uma grande ofensa. As golpes, por sua vez, com medo de ir para o inferno, etc. As golpes, por sua vez, como elas estão totalmente disponíveis para Krishna, né? Então, mesmo diante da possibilidade de elas irem ao inferno ou de elas sofrerem, elas ainda assim fazem tudo por Krishna. Elas não fazem para. É nesse nível que ele está falando que, né, se abandonou tudo em prol de Krishna.
Arjuna was encouraged by Krishna to do his duty of fighting, because that's what he was a Kshatriya, right? Then at the end of Bhagavad, and he prescribed so many different karma yoga, and then jnana yoga, but bhakti yoga was in the middle. So yoga, karma and jnana without any connection to bhakti it'll be completely useless. It has to be connected at least to Krishna in the form of some bhakti, otherwise it'll be useless. But the highest teaching in Bhagavad Gita was the center 6 chapters dealing on bhakti. And he said, Sarva karman, sarva dharman parityajam. Give up everything and just surrender it to Krishna.
Então, Krishna ocupou Arjuna em seus deveres prescritos de lutar como kshatriya. E Krishna também instruiu ele a respeito de karma, jnana, yoga e tudo mais. Mas o mais importante do Bhagavad Gita é que no meio tem a seção que é de Bhakti, e que karma, jnana e yoga, se não tiver conexão com Bhakti, não tem nenhum valor, é inútil.
That is our responsibility, to try to accumulate more Sukriti by serving, by following the orders of our spiritual master, serving the devotees, following the Ekadasi, following our prescribed rounds, following principles, following and distributing this knowledge to others. We acquire Sukriti, and then the Sukriti fructifies in the association of Sudha Bhaktas, and we hear. That is the highest.
Então, na verdade, é responsabilidade você cumprir com as ordens do mestre espiritual, praticar todo esse processo que nós aprendemos aqui. Isso tudo está acumulando Sukriti também.
E esse é um dever, acumular Sukriti é um dever. E que isso é seguir o mestre espiritual, né? Fazer cada esse processo, os princípios.
Tulsi Maharani, Adrason, Nitai Gaur Premananda, Sri Satchidananda Gaur Hari, Haribo. So, Mara Mohan Prabhu, Kirtan.
Pessoal, amanhã então, quem é alto, né? Não vai ter exatamente Harikatha com o Sripad Sajjan Maharaj, mas ele vai estar aqui, saindo para o aeroporto, às 10. Então, quem quiser vir vê-lo, falar pessoalmente com ele, até às 10 da noite ele vai estar aqui. Inclusive, agora eu estou falando, quem ainda não teve oportunidade de fazer uma doação e quiser vir amanhã, até às 10 da noite ele está aqui. É muito importante para ajudá-lo. Ele que pagou as passagens dele, então é muito importante. Então, a partir de amanhã a gente volta à programação normal. Vai ter programa normal a partir das 6 horas amanhã. Vocês podem vir participar do programa também. Tá bom?
Too short. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Oh Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Radha Raman Bihari Radha Raman Bihari Hari Radhe. Vagara hai Nita hai Gora hai Nita hai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Oh Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Patita Pavana Shila Gurudeva Jaya Patita Pavana Shila Gurudeva Onitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Hari bolo, hari bolo, hari bolo, hari bolo. Hari bolo, hari bolo, hari bolo, hari bolo. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham. Jai Sripad Bhaktivedanta Sajjan Maharaj ki.
जय श्री श्री राधा रमन बिहारी जू की जय श्री मां महाप्रभु की जय श्री जगन्नाथ देव की जय गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय प्रेमानंदे हरि